Hey everyone, I want to show you my number one tool. This is my absolute favorite tool that I use every single day. Ta-da! Okay, so what we're looking at here is a little tool pouch that I keep on me all the time. I can't work without it. It is absolutely phenomenal. How many people have heard others sitting there saying, I can't find my tape measure, I always set down my pencil, I always lose it. Well, when you're wearing something like this, that just doesn't happen. I mean, you could wear an apron, but I find that sometimes aprons are limiting in mobility, so I have opted for a tool pouch instead. So let me walk you through some of the items that I have in my little pouch, and I'm more than willing to be receptive to opinions of what could be added or removed. I've just found that this is what has worked for me over the years. So let's break this down. What's on here? Okay, I mean, hands down, I've got a measuring tape, right? So measuring tape, I carry a 16-foot. I don't really find a need for a 25-foot too often. I am a big fan of the brand Camellin, at least I think that's how you pronounce it. Mostly because their tapes are very easy to read. Tool number two is getting a little razor knife. So I can't tell you how many times that this comes in handy, whether it is sharpening my carpenter's pencil, or it is opening packaging, or it's digging a sliver out of my hand that I just got. 1,001 uses. I think everybody should benefit from carrying a knife of some sort.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I do actually carry a second knife just in case my razor blade breaks. That's just kind of an extra for me, not necessarily a recommendation. Okay, I always carry a couple of writing utensils. So I have a pen when I'm writing on paper. I carry a pencil, of course, and I always choose a mechanical pencil because it is very precise. I also carry a Sharpie marker, which is fantastic for writing on more plastic type surfaces. Such as stretch film, laminate, or Formica. Also carry a carpenter's pencil in here just because a carpenter's pencil is good for just doing like rough drawing or doing the squiggly lines on a piece that you're going to sand off. So that's been super helpful. I carry a 2-in-1 Lutz screwdriver, L-U-T-Z. And the reason why I absolutely love this and carry with me all the time is because it's got a flat head on one side, but you can open it up and it's got a Phillips on the other. This has just been invaluable. I use the flat head the most though, because I use it to pry up the lids to paint cans or my stains, but also when I'm on the job site, I need the flat heads to undo light switch plates or outlet plates and remove those when I'm doing my install. So super handy, and I've used it just to pry things open a lot. Okay, moving on. I have a putty knife, 1.5 inch that I carry with me. I can't tell you how many times I've used it to just pry things, lift things up, scraping up glue off of a project, or applying putty, of course, for what's its intended purpose, or filling in those nail holes if I'm doing an accent wall. I just find that I put it to use a lot more than I thought I would. But carrying a 4-inch machinist square is a lifesaver. I use this to set up my machines, check the squareness of my jointer. I use it for marking, of course, on boards and checking the square of the projects that I'm building. So always having a small, tiny little machinist square, which is super accurate on my body at all times, I've found to be invaluable. Two other things I have in here. I have a spring nail set. When I'm doing a lot of my accent walls, sometimes the nails don't embed fully, so having a nail set on hand I've found super useful. And as a divider to try to keep things all separated in here, I have been carrying a card scraper. Now I know that a lot of people are not a big fan of the card scraper. I am. I find it super useful for getting out burns or just doing a quick leveling or trying to level out a seam from a glue joint. But in this case, it's more of a pouch pocket separator. My last and favorite tool I'm going to show you is carrying around a small 6-inch mini ruler. This mini ruler is super amazing because it has measurements down to the 32nds on the top side and 64ths on the bottom side. This has been invaluable to me as I am setting up like the height of a router bit or a table saw blade or my dado blade. And then once I do a cut pass, coming in and checking to see if it is actually the depth that I want it to be. Super, super invaluable, and the added benefit that it is exactly 3/4 inches wide. I've used that many times just as a guide or an offset. So very, very, very invaluable. If I have a measurement under 6 inches, I'll reach for that first. So there you have it. That is my #1 favorite tool that I have in the shop. Like I said, I use it every single day. It stays on my person, it hooks on via belt, and it's not as clunky as other things. So for $125 approximately a value, this is my biggest lifesaver because I never have to go searching for a pencil. I never have to go searching for my measuring tape because it's always on my person. Hope this helps, and let me know if you have anything that you would add or remove. Maybe I'll swap something out. I'm very curious to hear it. We'll see you next time.